What's something we all just pretend no one does, but in truth we know we all do it? Making up fake scenarios in our head. I have literally cried over scenarios that weren't real. I was digitizing some old cassette tapes of my mom singing a while back and thought, I'll probably play this at her funeral one day. Sobbed hard for like an hour. Sometimes I'm a superhero in my head. Sometimes I'm happy in my head. Felt this? Trying to fart carefully so that it doesn't make too loud of a sound. Unless you're alone. Then I'm trying to recreate a sonic boom. One day that is going to end with a shower and change of pants. 100% guaranteed. 35 years old with a clean track record. Maybe it's a gift? 45 was when it first happened to me. Enjoy this last decade of bodily control. Oh no, I'm 43. Dude, I feel like the last year my body had been trying to catch up on a lifetime of missed farts. IDK, what happened? My dad was at a party one night, leaning against a door frame with his right shoulder chatting to some mates. Needed to let loose with one. Figured the empty room behind was as good a place as any to guff. Glanced over, and that's how he met your mother. Make snap judgments about people based on their appearance. This could be anything from race, gender, age, clothing, hairstyle, facial appearance, etc. We make these judgments before we have time to think about it. I've read someone say to not judge yourself on your first thought about a person, but by your second. Your first thought is instinct or society telling you what to think. Your second is who you actually are. I will die on this hill. It's important to understand that some things are so ingrained you will always have a specific lizard brain reaction, but it's whether you choose to take the minute to think rationally about it that matters. Not to mention that snap decisions and grouping is a survival instinct, and yes, based on some pattern recognition derived from real-world experiences. It ain't all just social bias. Me when I see a guy fatter than me. Might want to lay off the pizza, bro. Me when I see a guy skinnier than me. Might want to lay off the meth, bro. I don't judge people I see based on clothes and appearance. Like it's Walmart I'm here to, but yogurt and oatmeal, I ain't putting on a button-up for this. It isn't Applebee's. I'm gonna be honest, I think I dress up more for Walmart than Applebee's, lol. I think it's weird that this is something people aren't allowed to talk about, even though everyone does it to some degree. What matters, in my opinion, is to what degree you can recognize when a snap judgment is probably due to your bias, so that you don't internalize it as fact. If I'm sitting in my parked car and a man starts walking by, I'll instinctively lock the doors. And one day I was chilling outside a grocery store and the black man started walking by, and I locked the doors and had an internal moment of panic. And when you go into an aisle in the grocery store and you see someone in front of the object you're looking for, so you pretend you're getting something else, all while hovering near them, waiting for them to leave that area so you can get said object. I told my wife about an experience at Walmart where 3 people were blocking the bulk cheese bags while having a full-blown reunion conversation. It's the cheese section. There was no reaching around the double cart blockade. It's a high-traffic grocery section and deserves some respect. I was too polite to say anything and did a couple of loops until they finished. They were blocking the cheese, plain and simple. This is now a household phrase used when someone's in your way, frequently parroted by my progeny. Stop blocking the cheese. I'm now the butt of an eternal joke. FML. This should be in a Seinfeld episode. I can see George coming over and exclaiming, "The cheese, Jerry, the cheese." I'm either George, Kramer, or Newman in this script. Please don't. You're definitely not Kramer because he would have just grabbed cheese. I'm picturing Kramer pushing through while the conversationalists stare at him as if he's the rude one. Then Kramer just gives them a big, goofy smile and holds up the cheese while half falling over the cart, using it to stabilize him and grabbing what he could get. I'm sure there's actually a term for this, but the thing you do when you're upset or hurt and then attribute it to something that feels more respectable to be upset about. Like instead of crying because you're mad that someone forgot your birthday, spirals into the long history of wrongs that person has made, because it's embarrassing to say that you just wanted to be a special boy for a day. The only word that comes to mind is rationalization. Procrastination! I was going to say that, but I waited too long. Better late than never. Procrastinators unite. And tomorrow. Maybe next year?